Hi guys, welcome back to Max Electronics. In today's episode we will be reviewing this Ken Par light, the LED one from China. As you can see, I've attempted to remove the label but it's stuck there very well. I'll have to probably use Zoff to get it off. And it claims to be 54 3-watt RGB LEDs combining to 200 watt of power. We'll see about that. It's in a very good condition. I picked it up from a marketplace of, I think it was like 20 bucks or something. It's big, so it's probably, I'd say, about 6-7 inches in diameter. Yeah, about that. It's got the DMX addressing on the back here. It doesn't have a manual. It's all wired in, but the problem is we can't plug it in right now because it is, first of all, the power plug is very weird. It says XY on it, and that's the input, that's the output loop, so it doesn't have any earth or anything. It looks decent enough. The wire seems to be okay. We'll see what it's like inside, but I don't want to use an adapter and I don't trust it anyway, so I'm gonna put a normal. I've got two tiles ready to go right here. Two IEC tiles. One of them has got a plug on it. It's just to, to cover it up. It'll be a loop through, and XLRs are actually plastic, both XLRs for the DMX. So I'm going to cut them off and I'm going to put a proper XLR plug on it. So let me get the screwdrivers ready and I'll start opening it up. Well, I have opened it up and I am quite surprised. I expected to see a lot more. So let's start from the bottom. We've got the DMX cables, which are joined together here, going to a Molex plug. They are not shielded, so I actually was going to cut the ends of them and replace the ends, but it looks like I'm going to have to replace the whole cable since those are not shielded. What else do we have here? We have a, what is that? That's a fan connector here. We've got the power that's just coming in and no earthing, nothing, just joins in straight to the power supply, which I will show you in a second, right after I do this. Then we've got output for the Molex again with a very thin wires. Like when you feel them, I bet you I'm going to replace those anyway, so let's cut one open. Look how tiny they are. I'll see if I can zoom in. Look how tiny those wires are. That's just ridiculous. And that's supposed to be running 8.5 amps at 24 volts. That is, yeah, ridiculous. So I'm going to replace those. And then we've got thick-ish wires going to the power supply, from power supply to this board as well. There is no special drivers, nothing like that. I actually expected it to have a, some sort of a specialized driver, but it doesn't. It's just using MOSFETs. Just remove this. It's just using three, why is this not coming out? There we go. 3 MOSFETs right here to drive it directly. That's it. It's got a microphone, so it's got audio mode. What else does it have? That's pretty much it. So that Molex will go. I'll desolder that and I'll solder the wires directly to the board and put a thicker gauge wire to go to RGBs. That's the DMX driving board. So we've got then power supply here, which is claiming to be 24 volts, 8.3 amps. No earth, nothing. Then it's got 2 tiny caps at 470 volts, 35 microfarad, or other way around, sorry, 470 microfarad, 35 volts. I will probably upgrade those as well to a larger power since we're dealing with those sort of currents, and if you're turning the white on straight away. So yeah, definitely I'm going to upgrade those. It's got a fan in the back, small heatsink, and then we got the LEDs themselves, which do look like they 3-watt LEDs. Those are just snapped on, they can easily be removed. So you can see 3 chips. They do look small, but they do look like 1 watt, maybe just under 1 watt. We'll plug it in, we'll measure the power when we come to that. So I'm going to leave this for now. I'll have to take the power supply, and I'm going to ground it as well, so I will be adding a ground wire to it. So I'm going to go and find some cables. Since I wasn't ready for it, I didn't get them ready. I thought those would be shielded, but they're not. So I'll go find some cables and wires for this. I have changed all the cables and redone everything here. So DMX have been changed and they're nicely tucked in. They shielded proper cables now. I've also changed the power cables and they're all ready to go into the power supply. I have also added a big 3300 microfarad cap into here, and I left one of the 470 microfarad caps in there. So that should be a lot more better. I did not change those cables that's going to LEDs because I think what's happening, they're using them as a resistance. They're relying on the width, like the width of the cable as a resistor for the LEDs, because there is no resistors on here at all, just 3 MOSFETs. So let me reassemble this together and we'll plug it in and see how it works, and then we'll plug it into DMX as well. I've assembled half of it, and I forgot to tell you there was actually a few dry solder joints on the MOSFETs here, so I had to fix that up. And the power supply was full of solder balls on the back, and they were quite big. I totally forgot to show you that, but I got rid of them now. So that's definitely would have been an issue if they would have heated up and rolled to, say, a MOSFET or something like that. Also, the MOSFET and the diode on here didn't have any heatsink. They were just screwed in there. You can see I've added the heatsink right there. And it's got a grounding wire as well. So there is a facility on that power supply for a grounding, but it's just not grounded. So that's fitted here fine, and I'm just going to assemble it fully and then we'll test it out. Okay, the light's back together. Let's plug it in for the first time. Now I've got it plugged into the current limiting. So I'll just apply power. Now this way we can see what it's actually consuming, and I'll probably bypass the power. Okay, so the fan's on. Says that's DMX. So let's go. Okay, we've got red. Okay, I do need to turn off the current limiting, so it's bright. I think it's like a demo mode. Okay, let's plug into the DMX, and this is manual, so DMX 09, so let me grab my DMX cord. Alright, so should I aim it at the camera? That's going to be bright. Okay, let's see what happens. I'll go with the channel 1. And nothing happens on channel 1. Let's go for channel 2, 3, 3, we got red. I think that's mostly like automatic change thing. Let's go for channel 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm not sure. So I've sort of figured out what's going on there. I wouldn't recommend that pass right away. The reason being is it's occupying 8 channels in total and only 4 of them are working, and they don't have the effects. So I'm not sure what's going on or why it's doing that. I've set it up on channel 39, and if we can look here, I've got the values. So if we go to shutter, we go to maximum, that's definitely shutter. Then we got channel 5, 6, 7 is red, so you can see red. Then we got green, and we got blue. Those channels are exactly the same. So this is red, blue, and then blue, green, and red backwards pretty much. There is nothing else happens no matter what I do. It's just adjusting the color, and that's the global shutter. So that's it to it. There is no effects. I don't know what's going on and why. So those colors working fine. Yeah, so I guess you have to make your own. There's no fading. You have to make your own fading effect or something like that. It's for what it's worth. With $20, you know, I'll take it any time. But definitely wouldn't buy it for full price. So let's check the power on it. If I go to white, and let's go to the power consumption and see, it is at 108 watts. Yeah, it's definitely not 100, not 200 watts. It's 108 watts. That's what this unit consumes. It is bright. I'll give you an example. So if it's on white and I'll turn it towards, let's say, the wall here, it is very bright. It's blinding bright if you look into it. And the colors they're good. I wouldn't say they're super good, but they are good. So let me aim it at the wall again. So we've got green, magenta. Let's try magenta on the wall. And that's without the light. So it is alright, but yeah, I wouldn't buy it brand new for full price. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. My name is Max. I will see you next time. Bye.